Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. I am Carol Howell, your host, internationally certified dementia practitioner and Amazon best-selling author of the book, what is it called? Let's Talk Dementia. I was about to forget there for myself, the book I wrote, Let's Talk Dementia. I also have Mama is Confused and So Am I, and Reminisce and Worship among our 6 books, I think. And you can find them all on our website, www.letstalkdementia.org. There you can click the link for Contact Carol and send me a message, or you can just write me directly, carol@letstalkdementia.org. I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's show, and that would be Beth Crosby, Editor Beth. You can find her at editorbeth.com. She is amazing for finding ways to make what you have written sound so much better, and you look so much smarter. I'm so glad I got her. National Association of Veterans and Families, 800-352-2919, www.navf.org. They speak veteran, so you don't have to. And if you are looking for benefits for the veteran or the spouse of the veteran, that's who you need to call. Well, I'm trying to figure out lighting for my show, and that's been a bit of an issue. And had a couple of people who I respect their opinion, Miss Ella and Miss Madeline, say to me, "We can't see your eyes, and there's a glare on your eyes." Madeline said, "Take your glasses off, Carol," because the light was reflecting off the lenses. Isn't she smart? So I'm hoping this is better, and maybe, just maybe, I won't have to buy these lights. One goes here, and I don't know. I don't know how to operate all that, but I'm hoping this is better. So you guys can let me know, because I'm happy to hear from you. Well, today we're going to talk about what are the early signs of dementia, because I had a lady named Kate who wrote in about her husband. I believe she watches the show, or else she listens to the podcast. I think she watches this show. And wait a minute. Kate was the other person. Back up. This wasn't Kate on this question. Nope, it was Jane. Kate's going to be on another show. Jane wrote and asked about what are the early signs of dementia. Her husband has been diagnosed with a cognitive decline. I'm not sure from her message exactly what the cognitive decline is. And Jane, that's something you might want to investigate. Cognitive decline is caused by something, and we want to know what it's caused by. But what are the early signs of dementia? Now, remembering what dementia is, the inability to think clearly, that affects the activities of daily living. And those activities of daily living are bathing, eating, ambulating, dressing, and toileting. BEAD, like the beads on a necklace. T on the end. Bathing, eating, ambulating, dressing, and toileting. When you have problems in at least 2 of those areas, when your inability to think clearly, you get confused and life's just a jumble for you, and it affects at least 2 of those 5 activities of daily living, the doctor's going to call it dementia. So what are some of the early signs of dementia? Well, I just happened to cover that in my book. Oh, lighting. Let's see. Let's Talk Dementia. Lighting is a bear, I'm telling you. But you can find it on Amazon or on our website and read for yourself. But there are, according to my listing, I have 10 warning signs of dementia. And so I wanted to go over those with you. So maybe it will help Miss Jane. Well, obviously the first one is forgetfulness. We start forgetting things. Now, it's not unusual to forget things, you guys, because if forgetting things was the only symptom of dementia, and every time we forgot something we knew we had dementia, then all of us would have dementia, because we all forget stuff. But we're talking about the kind of forgetfulness that you don't later recall. It's okay to forget where you put your glasses, but then you find them. But if you find your glasses in the freezer, and see, that's not normal. There's differences in forgetfulness. And so the inability to recall or recollection is very significant, then that's concerning. Problems with numbers become a real issue with folks who have dementia. And again, it's not unusual to have a problem with numbers or to have mistakes in your checkbook. Not that anybody keeps a checkbook register on this planet but me. But, you make a mistake with numbers, that happens. We all do that. But when we consistently start having problems with numbers, then we know that that's a problem and it's something we need to work on. Also, in regards to that same thing, we find that people have a hard time staying on task. They will start something and they can't finish it, or they'll start something, the phone will ring and they'll forget to finish it, and forget that they were doing it, or they get frustrated with what they're doing, and staying on task does become a problem. See, now I know why I wear my glasses when I have this show, because it covers up this. Okay, anyway. And then problems with everyday activities, things that we've always done that we've not had any issues with. Suddenly we start having issues with those things. And it can be everything from driving. Oh, that's a big one, right? Or getting lost directions, not just the physical act of driving, but remembering how to get from point A to point B. I remember the day my mama called me and she was at the Rite Aid drugstore, but she was supposed to be at the doctor's office and she could not figure out how to get there. That sense of direction was gone. But sometimes it's just being able to operate simple kitchen appliances. You forget how to use the can opener, or of course my can opener is just confusing. I may very well forget that one myself, but things like that. And then also things like which drawer certain pieces of clothing have lived in for years. You're in there just hunting your pajamas and they've been in the same drawer for a long time. Problems tracking time and place. Oh, that's a big one. And that's something that just consistently gets worse. And it's a very real problem in dementia, that our loved ones are not living in the same time and space in which we are living in. And folks have a hard time tracking time. Even with the calendar, you might put a calendar there in front of them that says it's Monday and it's September, whatever. See, whatever the date would be. What is today's date? I'll have to look down here and see. And that works for you, but we've got to assume they're going to look at it, and they may not look at it. They may not think, let me go look at the calendar to track the date and the day. They make these big clocks. I call them dementia clocks, but they are very large, square, battery-operated clocks that can sit on the desk or put on the wall that have the day, the date, and the time. So it'll say Tuesday, October 3rd, and the year and the time. And it's all in there in one visual field, which is very nice. Helped my mama a lot. Problems with vision are definitely a huge problem that we see as symptomatic of dementia. Now, problems with vision alone doesn't mean you have dementia, because if it does, I got a real issue, because I've got a issue going on with lightning strikes in the side of my eye here, where part of the vitreous, I gotta find out how to say that word, vitreous gel, that's inside your eye is pulled away and taken a little piece of the retina, and it causes you to have these little flashes in your eye. But that alone is not symptomatic of dementia. But when you start seeing many issues with the eye, inability to discern depth perception. Let me just see, can give you an example. I've shown this to you guys before, that I don't have a bit of problem going right to the end of that, right to the end. That's a teeny little thing. I can pick it up. Or I can go right here and take my earring, and I'm able to take the post and put it right in the back, right? Well, somebody who's beginning to have dementia and with problems with vision, they're going to be more like this, trying to make that happen. You can forget getting it back in your ear and putting that back on when you can't see it. So vision becomes a problem. Peripheral vision definitely changes with Alzheimer's type dementia. The peripheral vision gets smaller this way and smaller this way, so we don't see what's going on around us out here, and that's why driving becomes very dangerous. So vision changes. Lost words, stopping mid-sentence to search for a word. Now, we all do this again. You've got to remember that. But when it's consistently going on and you stop in the middle of the sentence to hunt a word, and while you're hunting the word that you're not going to find, you then don't remember what it was you were going to say. See how it's different? All right, lost items. Well, I went to the nail shop today and had a pedicure done, so the tootsies look good right now, and with my daughter, and walked out, got in the car, reached in to get my phone, because that's what I do. I don't know why, because we're all addicted to the dang things. No phone. And I had left my phone in the shop, in the salon. When I walked in, one of the other clients was in there. I said, oops, I left my phone. She said, did you start shaking? Did it give you the shakes when you knew you'd lost your phone? I said, yeah, sort of. That's just sad, isn't it? But lost items. And then finding those items in places where they would not logically be. Like I said, if you find your keys in the freezer, or I had a friend who lost her purse, and they looked all over the assisted living for this woman's purse. They just looked everywhere. And she'd put it between the mattress and box springs. She was protecting it. So that's not normal. Now, they looked all over the facility for my mama's purse one time. She left it on the bus. Well, that I can see, but finding things in weird spots, that begins to be a problem. And then sometimes we just lose things and we do find them, but it happens a lot. It's a continuous thing. Poor judgment. Well, that's definitely not on its own just the only symptom of dementia, because man, is the world full of people with poor judgment. Some of us make some dumb decisions. Of course, I never have in my whole life. But anyway, poor judgment, such, for example, the handling of money. We see folks who are in the early stages, even the early stages and definitely into the later stages of dementia, who have a great time watching like QVC or those channels where you can order stuff, or if someone calls and they're selling something over the phone, they're buying all kinds of things. I can tell you, while my husband and I were out of town one time, my mother-in-law signed up to have an entire alarm system installed in her home. Just thousands and thousands of dollars. And I had a friend who had dementia who signed up for a water purification system in her house and had it delivered. And when they delivered it, and they delivered the bottled water that came with it, it filled one of her rooms. And she called me and goes, I don't know why I've got this, and I don't know where it came from, and they say I owe $14 quadrillion for it. You've got to help me. What a mess it was. So poor judgment. We see folks withdrawing. They withdraw from social engagements because they know something's not right. See, now you think your loved one with dementia doesn't know they have dementia, and they may not recognize that it's dementia, but they know something's not right. They realized it before you did. Few people are not cognizant enough to know when they are changing. But this withdrawal comes about because we're just not comfortable around other people. We get confused and we don't understand what people are saying, and they're talking too quickly, and they're not looking at us straight on, and they're turning their head talking over that way, and we can't see their face, and we don't know how to respond, and it's embarrassing, and so we withdraw. We just quit doing attending social engagements or going to church. We just pull within ourselves and stay home in our lazy boy, which is not a good plan. And then also not participating in hobbies. That's part of that withdrawal. Those things that you know your loved one always enjoyed doing. Daddy always loved woodworking, and he would go out to the shop and make all kinds of things, and now he just doesn't want to do anything like that. So that's a concerning thing. And then mood changes. Oh my goodness, mood changes are definitely a problem with dementia. Why? Well, if every minute of your life you were confused and you did not know what was going on, and you tried to figure out life, and you tried to figure out what to do next, and you tried to remember this, and you tried to make sure your responses to your loved one were appropriate, and you couldn't do it, well, you'd have a mood change too, wouldn't you? And our folks with dementia experience mood changes because of that. Now, think about what those mood changes make you feel like then. Then you don't feel good, and you're frustrated, and you might become just a little PO'd and hard to get along with. Well, that's why. So when your loved one is displaying several of these warning signs, not just one or two, but you go, yes, yes, check, check, they're doing that and that, then yeah, you need to be finding out what's going on and be proactive in that diagnosing. And Jane, that's what I'd like to see for you, is to find out more conclusively from the doctor why your husband's having this cognitive decline, if we can put a name to it, because that is important, because some dementias are reversible and can be fixed. And by golly, if it can be fixed, let's do that. That's good news, isn't it? Well, I hope you've seen my eyes during this show. I have, in my pretty new shirt. And this is my wonderful necklace. You guys look at this. I'm so happy to have this back. The chain broken, and it took a while to get it fixed. But this is my dad's wedding band, and this is my mama's wedding band, and that's my mama's engagement ring. And she had this soldered together. I don't know. Anyway, hooked together as to one thing. And when my dad died, I would sit with my finger in his ring and rub it, and then my finger got stuck one day. But now I have both of their rings. Well, I had both of their rings before, but now they're both gone on to heaven, and I have their rings here, and I get to wear them. I love my necklace. It's pretty, isn't it? Well, thank you for sharing your morning with me. Thank you for watching our show. I ask you please to go on Facebook and share this on your page. The more people you share it with, the more people we reach. If you're watching on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, tell your friends on Facebook about us. Or how, I don't know, can you share it on those? I don't know how that works. I am not technical. But tell other folks about us. Put little notes on Facebook to check out Let's Talk Dementia, 8:15 on Facebook. But all our shows are on our website, and they're also on YouTube at Let's Talk Dementia. Again, a thank you to National Association of Veterans and Families, who comes along and helps veterans, so important, and Editor Beth at editorbeth.com. Write me with what's on your mind, and it's Carol at letstalkdementia.org. And as always, this show is brought to you in honor of the love of our Lord Jesus Christ, and in thankfulness for what He's done for us, and in memory of my sweet mama, Miss Vera Jean Holder, who went to heaven May 31st, who is seeing colors like she's never seen them before, experiencing smells like as beautiful and as wonderful, and is experiencing love in a depth that she could never even have imagined. Peace that is like more than has ever overcome her in this worldly plane. Contentment, happiness, joy, deeper than she's ever experienced. Yeah, I think about that a lot. Well, you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you leave me, you go hug your LO. Tell him Carol said hi. Blessings and smiles.